my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin, just being honest. Never let a man affect your stack like that. And if you're getting toxic, tell the boy fall back.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. A first carry for a Miami native. This is Dalvin Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Very nice catch there by Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the game after just 2 seasons in the league. As a rookie, 2nd-team All-Pro, and then in his 2nd year, was 2nd in the league in yardage. This guy continues to grow and get better with every game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They run again on first down. Cook. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They run the counter with Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Cousins now. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. I'm curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, Cook. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
On 2nd down, Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop it behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Now Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Cousins goes right back to Smith again. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Five yards remain on second down. Throwing, Cousins. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To the air again, it's Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Bridgewater on first down. Got a man complete to... And a loose football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Cousins now to throw on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Cook makes the catch on the out route. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Cousins again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The Vikings send out their punter. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard
line. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. The Dolphins at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD. And
I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Bridgewater's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second down at 5. Throwing is Bridgewater. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Bridgewater with a keeper. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Bridgewater. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. He'll drop to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. So that a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we have reached halftime. What a weird one. A safety is all we have through 2 quarters. 2-0 the score. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd and a couple, Bridgewater. Wilson's got it on the crossing route. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 5. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Play fake. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete there to Smith. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Cook again. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the fourth quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, Bridgewater. Throwing quickly to Wilson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Bridgewater. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Cousins now. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Fourth down, Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run with Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Cousins. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Cousins to throw it. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Second down, here's Mostert again. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Buying time to his left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
They'll try it now with Mostert, and they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It was Harrison Smith there up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. He'll get this to his running back, Edmonds. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 14. Now a give to Mostert running right. And he's got some space here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. But he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Cousins to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. They always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Now Cousins.
Able to find Thielen. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. Here's Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's complete. It's Cook. And he'll have a 1st down as he's able to work his way out of bounds with 14 seconds remaining. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. That's caught at the 25. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss here will move them back to 5.